Boy, am I mad. I'm so angry right now. It's all I can do to hold it together. I don't even know if I can make this video. Boy, wait till you find out why I'm mad, and you're going to be mad too. We're all going to be mad. All right, this is Barry Phillips with 10 Minute Torah, day number 1 of Torah portion Korach. Now, I'm not mad. I'm actually having a pretty good day. It's hot and sunny outside in the mid-90s. I've been able to be outdoors today. It's a good day. But I'm sure that somewhere someone is all upset and seeking a crowd that they can tell how angry they are and divulge what it is that has made them so upset. It's a funny thing about human beings that when we get angry, when we get upset, when our feelings are hurt, when things are not going according to our plan, it's very difficult for most of us, some of us are an exception, but for most of us to hold it inside and just deal with it. It's a very difficult thing. We look for acceptance, acknowledgement. We look for empathy. We want someone to understand. We want someone to hear us out. And oftentimes, and spilling all of our venom and issues and hatred or anger or wrath, malice, we just poison not only ourselves and the air around us, but anyone who is actually giving ear and credence to what we're saying. This is what we find when we open up the pages of the Torah portion in chapter number 16 of the book of Bamidbar and Numbers, and began with verse number 1. And Korach, son of Yitzhar, son of Kohath, son of Levi, took Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, and the sons of Peleth, the sons of Reuben. They rose up before Moshe with some of the children of Israel, 250 leaders of the congregation, called ones of the meeting, men of name, men of renown, men with an important standing and reputation in the congregation. They assembled against Moshe and against Aaron and said to them, "Enough of you. For all the congregation is set apart, all of them, and Yahweh is in their midst. Why then do you lift yourselves up above the assembly of Yahweh?" So the inside information, and many of you have already heard this many times, but for those who have not studied this portion before, let's just give a brief detail here. Korach is actually Moshe's cousin. So they grew up around each other. Well, with Moshe and Pharaoh's palace, maybe not so much, but certainly with Aaron, they knew each other. They were family. They were close kin. These are first cousins. Korach is a leader. He knows he's a leader. He's an important man. He has vision. He has goals. He has agendas that need to be listened to. Somebody pay attention to me. I'm smart. I'm important. What's interesting about this man is Korach's name it's spelled with 3 letters. A kaf, which the letter means behind. A resh, which means the head. So behind the head, het, which looks like a fence, and it means to separate or to divide. It's exactly what he did. He lived up to his name. He went behind the head of Moshe and Aaron and began to separate and divide men like a fence, declaring you need to determine what side of this fence that you're going to be on. Are you going to kiss up to Moshe and Aaron and play their fame game and believe that Yah really wants them running everything? Or are you going to side with this community of leaders? Look around. There's over 250 of us, and we're important men. So we outnumber them. And we know that Yah is actually on our side because they've been speaking for Yahweh when Yahweh is not using them. He's actually speaking to us. One of the roles that I played and served in the body of Messiah is to provide leadership. And I have done personally that role, performed that role in a variety of applications. And I can tell you from experience that whenever you lead, someone's going to disagree. They're going to see a better way to do things. Sometimes they're correct. Sometimes there are better ways to do some things. And a wise leader will listen and say, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Other times you just understand and know that no matter what you do as a leader, if someone is in opposition, not to leadership, but to you as an individual, because you're the one who is leading and not them who is leading, then nothing is going to go right, at least not in their estimation. Korach was a man who operated out of, obviously, angst and anger and jealousy. And he caused men to die because of it. Listen, when leadership is bad and it's failing, and everyone knows that it's failing, no one has to do a rally cry. That little spiel as I opened up, someone's going to get all agitated and raise their voice and use a commanding tone and vehemently state their case. And weak people are going to rally to that and say, rah, rah, you're right, and let's go get them charged. I always notice that in the old Westerns, you remember the scene where there's someone in jail that a vigilante-style crowd believes should be hanged. They don't want to wait for a trial. And so there's a leader out front, and all the men carrying their torches and a guy carrying a rope, and they come rallying to the front steps of the local jail, and the sheriff comes out. And what does he do? He carries a double-barrel shotgun, and he levels it down at the crowd. And the crowd says, you can't get all of us. But he points out the leader and says, no, I won't get all of you, but I'm going to get you, and probably several on either side of you. You make one more step, I'm going to pull this trigger, and I'm going to get you. You're going to die. Do you understand that? And suddenly the leader begins to back off, and crowds begin to cry, wait a minute, don't be afraid. Yeah, I'm about to die here. And several on either side began to move away because they don't want to get caught in the spray. When you get angry, when you get all upset and bent out of shape, and you feel like you need to become justified in your anger, and you're looking for empathy, ask yourself the question, am I willing to die on this hill? Am I willing to cause enormous harm to myself and to my family? Am I willing to suffer the judgment of Yah for moving in the wrong direction? My dad taught me a lesson many, many years ago when things in leadership in his local church were not well. He prayed. He got on his face and he prayed, and he wept with a broken heart and asked the Father to fix it. And the thing was that there were other people doing the exact same thing. They didn't meet with secret meetings. They didn't have secret prayer meetings to pray together. They prayed. You know what happened? The Father fixed it, and He did it the right way. There's a right way to fix things, and a lynch mob is not it. More tomorrow. Until then, shalom.